Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. In today's video, I'll be showing you how you can do your makeup by yourself at home, even if you are a beginner. So let's get right into it. The first thing we are going to do is to shape our eyebrow. Especially if your eyebrow is already full, you need to trim it. So with your mascara wand, which is what you see me using to brush the eyebrow in the video, the first step is to brush out the unruly hairs so that you will be able to see the strands that you'll be cutting off while shaping your eyebrow. Please note that you can always use what you are comfortable with to shape your eyebrow. There are different methods of eyebrow shaping, but in this video, I'll be using razor blade. So all you just need is to master how to hold your razor blade firmly and carefully while taking off the excess and the extra growth hair in order to shape in your eyebrow. So I don't really usually take much of my eyebrow off because I still want to have my eyebrow intact even if I'm not wearing makeup. So continue shaping as desired. As you use your mascara wand to brush it out, it will make you see the hairs that still need to be taken off. So keep checking and keep checking, and you take the excess hairs out gently till you get your desired results. So the next step now is to use a brow gel or a hair wax to brush the hair so that you have it intact, you have it arranged while you draw your eyebrow. Then you set it with your powder. I set the hair with powder and a translucent powder so that I can have a very clear area to draw my eyebrow. And this is my eyebrow pencil. You can see that I make sure it is pointed. That's how I usually use it, so that it will be easier to use, and it will give you a precision when your eyebrow pencil is well sharpened. It will give you a more precise eyebrow. On this In this video, I'm using a Davies, I think Davies or Hair Woman pencil. Davies or Hair Woman eyebrow pencil. It's very affordable. It's just 200 naira, either 200 naira or 250 naira, one of the two. So now I'm filling the eyebrow. Make sure you are using the eyebrow pencil sparingly because you don't want to end up with a very thick eyebrow. You use it lightly. So now consider as classic compact powder in cocoa. So I'm using it to fill my eyebrow. You can also use your eyebrow filler. But in this video, I'm using classic compact powder and the shade is cocoa to fill my eyebrow, to make it look filled, look light and natural, and it's going to also give me the same effect like I use an eyebrow filler. So next I'm going to go to launch my Zickel concealer and blush palette. So that is what I'm using to highlight my eyebrow. I'm using a lighter shade. At least I think it's about 2 shades, 2 to 3 shades lighter than my natural skin. So since it's for highlight, you have to use shades that are 2 to 3 shades lighter than your natural skin. So for the upper part of my eyebrow, it is not compulsory, but if you must highlight, if you must use concealer to clean up the upper part of your eyebrow, make sure it is as close to your skin as possible. Make sure the shade is close to your natural skin because you don't want to have the upper part of your eyebrow highlighted like the lower part of your eyebrow. So you need something that is close to natural. So here, what I'm just trying to do is to check if my eyebrow was well concealed, and now I'm setting it with a powder. Once you are done highlighting your eyebrow, it is always good to set with your powder to keep the concealer in place. So now the next thing I'm going to be doing is to use a orange eyeshadow as my transition eyeshadow on the crease of my eyelid. So first of all, I went with a light orange, and now I'm going to a more darker orange to give it a contoured illusion. All are still going into the crease of my eyelid to create a smooth and a very well layered transition, because I don't want the eyes to be looking too harsh. So I have to transition from the lightest to the lighter and to a light eye makeup, and there's eyeshadow. So here you can see I'm still contouring my eyes with some warm colors. The colors I'm using are warm. So now I'm going with a yellow shade for the main eye, for the eyelid itself. I used color yellow. While recording the video, there are some times that I may not remember to show you some things I'm using, but that is why the voiceover is there to always guide you. So this is color yellow. I'm using it for my main eyelid after using warm color, different form of warm color for the transition. So I'm still layering the eyelid. One thing about makeup is that as you're applying, you are seeing the effect. As you're applying, you are seeing the effect. If you are not satisfied with the effect, you can always apply more or as desired. So now I'm contouring with a dark brown. I think is it a dark brown or black? Either black or dark brown eyeshadow to the contour of my eyes. That's the main contour. That's the darkest contour for the entire look. Sorry. So you can see that I'm going with a neutral shade to I'm going with a neutral shade into the crease of my eyelid so that I'll reduce the harsh lines. Now I'm layering the eyelid again, because after the entire eye makeup, it looks like the eyelid makeup was already kind of faded. So I layered it more so that the yellow will pop. That's why I'm layering more. As you apply your makeup, sometimes you see that the effect of some makeups are kind of erasing or something, so you have to layer it to bring it out. So yeah, what I basically did on the eyelid was apply a neutral eyeshadow to make sure the lines of the makeup are not harsh. So now I'm applying my liquid eyeliner. So you can always use your normal eyeliner. Like, some people are always scared of using liquid eyeliner so that they won't create a mess. So if you know that your hands are not steady or you are not used to using liquid eyeliner, you can always go with your pencil. So now the next thing is to continue with the rest of the makeup. So first of all, before I start my foundation, I spray my primer so that we can have a well primed face. Then I waited for like 30 seconds for the primer to settle and absorb on my skin. So now this is this is foundation, sorry. So after applying my foundation, I apply the fix it spray. That's the setting spray. I waited for a few seconds before blending. When you apply setting spray on your foundation or your concealer before blending, it helps you blend more quickly. So what I'm basically doing here is blending the foundation. You can see that I'm just placing the brush on my arm. I don't know why I can put this. I'm not dragging the brush on my skin. More like when you are patting something. And I didn't apply foundation on my forehead like that. It is a remnant of the brush that is going to spread to the brow, to the forehead and the hairline, because you don't want to pack too much on your forehead, then you now start struggling to blend. So the ones I've applied on my face is enough to go round. The remnant on the brush can always cater for the other parts of the edges and the other areas. So next I'm going to use the cream blush. I'm using the cream blush on the upper part of my cheekbone. I'm going to use my beauty blender to blend so that it looks a bit well blended. Then now I'm contouring my cheekbone close to the place that I applied the cream blush. I'm contouring. After contouring my cheekbone, I'm going to still use the same color to contour my edges, just a little bit of it, and my jaw, the sides of that, my jawline. So I'm also using like a warm color to contour my nose. I'm contouring my nose now to make it look more defined. So the video itself is well explanatory, but without a voiceover, it might just not be understandable for some people, especially if you are a very beginner. But if you have been into makeup, or you've already understood how to apply makeup, it is very self-explanatory. So the next now is to conceal my under eyes. I'm highlighting my under eye with a concealer. I'm also using a lighter concealer. That I think is the same concealer I used for my eyebrow, or it's one shade lighter than the one I used for my eyebrow highlighting. So you can see the areas I'm highlighting. So after applying the concealer on those areas that needs to be highlighted, so on the outer part of my under eye, I'm using a, another concealer that is kind of darker than the previous one. So I'm also highlighting my nose here. I'm highlighting my jaw, and now I'm blending, and my forehead, a little bit on my forehead. So it's time to blend. So when you are blending, more like you are pressing the product with your brush, not dragging. Because when you start dragging, your coverage, we have problem. You are going to have problem with your coverage, because the brush will start opening up what you have covered, and before you know it, the coverage of the foundation or concealer is going to be very hard to do. It's going to be very hard to blend. So while you are blending with your brush, make sure you are not dragging. You are pressing, more like you are pressing in the products, and you are still going to achieve a well blended product, a well blended makeup. So I kept moving the brush to the places that I have highlighted in order to blend them in. So now I'm using my beauty blender to further blend it smoothly. I'm actually turning the blender. If I use a particular part for a certain shade, if I want to go to maybe a lighter or a darker place, I'll turn it again. So it's not as if I'm rubbing everything together. So after using it for my under eye, then I turned it to the other side to use it for the blush and contoured area. So the next is to set our foundation with a compact powder. You can always use a powder of your choice. You can always use a loose powder. You can use a translucent powder, depending on your choice or the coverage you want to achieve. So here now, the under eye, I'm baking it with a translucent powder. That's after setting with my compact powder. Now I'm going in with my translucent powder to bake the highlighted areas. I'm using it for my under eye and also using it to um highlight my nose, the sides of my nose and my forehead and my nose, the bridge of my nose. Yeah. So here I'm making sure the contour I did on the nose does not erase. Then I further exaggerated the contoured area so that the lighter powder doesn't cover it. I still want to have my contoured area and my blushed area intact so that they give me the kind of effect and look I want to have on my makeup. So I'm still blending, and now is to go with a powder blush. I'm using a Kakadu blush here. This is what I'm applying. So there's no makeup without blending. Anything you apply, make sure you blend properly. So now this is my lip balm. Before I use my lipstick or whatever, I apply a lip balm first to avoid my lip being cracky. And now I applied a layer of concealer. So I'm using a dark chocolate brown lip stain here. Excuse me for forgetting to show you some makeup products. Like I said, sometimes when I'm filming, I might get carried away and forget to show you some products. It wasn't deliberate. I'm sorry. I'm gonna do better next time, I promise. So I'm using a dark brown lip stain, more like a lip hair, something like this, but the dark brown. So I use it to line my lips first. Now I'm using a nude color, a nude um lipstick, I mean lip stain also. So now I'm using a brown eyeshadow, matte eyeshadow. I'm placing it on the area that I already lined with the lip stain. You can see it. I'm using the same color of the lip stain that I use. I'm now using it in the same color of eyeshadow. I'm trying to create a long lasting lip. It makes it long lasting and also mattifying in a way if you want. Sorry about the background distraction. He's one of my boyfriends. So here around the lips, I'm using the concealer to trim out the lip shape. That's, and then here I'm also using it to trim out the eyeliner. When you trim it out, it makes it more defined. So here I'm just highlighting the under of my brow bone to make the brow bone more exaggerated. Then I'll still blend with my brush so that the line doesn't look sharp. Make sure when you are doing your makeup there are no harsh lines. Even on your eyeshadow, no harsh lines. On your face, no harsh lines. So that your makeup will look more professional and well blended. Not that you have harsh lines everywhere. So here I'm just applying a little bit of bronzer. I didn't even intend to use bronzer self, so I just said let me use a little bit of it. So I used a little bit of bronzer. You can see it wasn't really showing. So now I'm using my mascara. I'm using Tara Volume Boosting Mascara. Tara Volume Boosting Mascara. You can see the name on the, so I'm also using it on my lower eyelashes, just a little bit of it. I'm feeling myself here. The makeuping is nice. So the next now is that I'm using a dark brown eyeshadow for my under eye. You can also use your eyeliner. You can use your light eyeliner. So I'm applying a bit of it on my, to line my eyes, but in this case I'm using eyeshadow. I'm using eyeshadow because I like the effect and coming out well. You can always use pencil, eyebrow pencil. You can use and I can use eyeshadow gel or gel eyeshadow. What is it called? So now I applied my setting spray to keep my makeup intact and also showing off the overall look. So what do you think about my look? Do you like it? How would you rate it? What do you think? You can always continue the conversation in the comment section and also ask questions if necessary. So here I am dressing up after the makeup so that I can go out. So did you enjoy the video? If you do, please subscribe to the YouTube channel, and also you can ask questions and also suggest topics on the next video you want me to upload. So thank you so much. Till I see you in the next one. Bye.